John's been with us, stalwart participant in North Frontenac Little Theatre for many years, and we are so pleased to honor him this year with the North Frontenac Little Theatre Award. Now, I think that John Stephen really flourished under the directorship of the great Doug McIntyre. Doug, please stand up. So, I think you may sit down. We must share the applause, Doug. Now, John came into the, John may speak to this, he came into the Little Theatre, I think, partly or mostly because of his daughter Shiloh, who was interested. So John came along, never thinking of actually, appearing in plays. But all of a sudden, Doug McIntyre came on the scene with 3 or 4 plays in a series. I think there was Opening Night, Maple Lodge,
Beyond Reasonable Doubt.
Beyond Reasonable Doubt. And I think it was Beyond Reasonable Doubt where people, I included, sat back and said, John Stephen, he's really coming along, man. That guy's good. And I think largely it was in part to the plays that Doug chose and to having the insight to get to John participating and directing him as you did. John, those plays I think were really formative and really put you in good stead for all the other stuff that you did after that. So, I can remember appearing in one of Doug's plays with John Stephen, and it was so much fun. Doug had been down to Arizona and directed a melodrama, right, Doug? And came back up saying, I've got to produce a melodrama. And Doug was working in Verona, getting a theater going down there, the Bell Rock School Playhouse, and he called on some North Frontenac Little Theatre members to join him to do this melodrama. So John Stephen and I, and Kathy Lowry King, and Michelle Alicon, a few people went down, and we had a riot, and it turned out to be so much fun. And John Stephen, I think, found a new niche in the world of comedy. So that was a highlight for me that I can remember. In 2012, we put on Tom Sawyer, and I wanted to show, in one sense, respect for Mark Twain, but in the other sense, respect for our First Nations people. So there's a character in Tom Sawyer named Indian Joe, so we changed that to Big Joe. And then when John Stephen came along, auditioned, we realized that's the part for John, and we changed the name again, and it became Little Joe. The rest is history. Great day. Now, the 2005 production of Guys and Dolls, directed by John Paracelli, was also an occasion where I shared the stage with John Stephen. And it was a lot of fun. I was sort of this shady, underground gambler character named Nathan Detroit. And John Stephen played the Lieutenant Brannigan, who was trying to always track me down and get evidence on me and arrest me. And so there was that conflict whenever we appeared. But it is true, John is somewhat shorter than I am. And John Paracelli, the director, saw this as a potential problem. But John Paracelli, being such a director of insight, got a solution to this situation. John Stephen needed a position of authority because he was the authority, Lieutenant Brannigan. So anytime John appeared with me on the stage, John Paracelli had a genius idea. He'll construe a scenario where Lieutenant Brannigan will be up on a ladder. Like, let's say, taking a kitten out of a tree. Or, even like watching Nick and Jocelyn Wayland's Pharmacy. Anything like that. So Nathan Detroit would come in, and John Stephen, playing Lieutenant Brannigan, would be able to look down in that position of authority, you know, and nail Nathan Detroit. And then this is where a teamwork between John Paracelli and John Stephen really, it was magic that happened. John Paracelli had the brainwave to get John Stephen as Lieutenant Brannigan to pretend he had sort of a fishing rod. And any time Nathan Detroit came to pretend and said, "Oh, get you, Nathan Detroit." And John picked that up like he wouldn't believe. And John Paracelli didn't stop there. John Paracelli said, "I want icing on that cake." And he told John Stephen, "You've got to develop a trademark sardonic laugh." And so John went right along. "What do you want me to do?" And John Paracelli explained, "Well, look upon it as a sneeze. Throw your head back, ha, ha, and then ha. Do it as soon as you sort of reel in." So,
just a second. Doug thinks he's been drinking too much.
I'll tell you, that came, and we rehearsed it, and everything was going great. And so there came the time for our Lieutenant Brannigan and Nathan Detroit to appear together. So opening night, there's always a few jitters. I came on, and the first thing, I forgot all about where Lieutenant Brannigan was. So I came walking on, and I looked around. I didn't see Lieutenant Brannigan. I hear Dawn Hanson, the stage manager. She said, "He's up there." So I start looking up, and then there he is. And John Stephen very coolly swivels around, gets the fishing rod affair going, says, "I'll get you, Nathan Detroit." Ha! 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 And disaster, he falls right on top of me opening night. But we're both consummate actors. He and I get up, dust ourselves off. It's part of the play. The audience doesn't know. We get up, dust ourselves off. We both probably have 20 or 30 broken ribs. Later x-rays show that John Stephen had broken both legs. We get up and just keep on acting, and the audience couldn't tell the difference. They didn't know. That is the kind of actor John Stephen is. So, North Frontenac Little Theatre is very proud to call up this wonderful man and accomplished actor who has appeared in a baker's dozen of North Frontenac Little Theatre productions, and we hope to see him back in many more. Ladies and gentlemen, John Stephen.
I remember my lines better than I remember that experience.
Come over here, John. Congratulations. And this drama award also honors John's daughter, Shiloh, who graced our stage as a young lady in several of our productions. Congratulations, John. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not off script yet. Anyway, just to speak to Martina. Martina, when I was growing up, the only thing that gave me nightmares It's that green witch.
I'll get you. Anti-M, anti-M.
Anyway, good job. It's a little overwhelming. I started in theater when I was about, I don't know, 9 or 10, and you used to do things like you were saying with your family and that, and skits and that. And I remember my aunt telling me that when everything was done and all that, and people started to sort of go away, I would walk in and I'd say, "The show is not over. The show is not over." Anyway, so I did a play in Perth. I guess was the first one I did. I was about 10 years old, and I was a pepper, and one of the little peppers in 5 Little Peppers. I don't know whether it was a green one or a red one. But after that, it was such a success. I didn't do another play until my daughter was 10. Shiloh, she wanted to be in The King and I, and I was the chauffeur, so I decided to go in The King and I, see if there was, like you said, if there was something there that didn't involve singing or dancing, then I'd be fine. Not many lines. So anyway, that was the start of that, and I remember the first time up there on the stage with Einie, and I had to do a dance with Einie, which I'm glad she wore steel-toed shoes. But anyway, I remember the scene there where I was standing there, we were looking at each other, and Einie was letting me know it was my line, and I was letting her know I know it was my line. Just don't know what that line is.